This part 3 uncovers invincible hands trying to alter Nigeria's constitution in order to capture Nigeria's regulatory space on what kills almost 30,000 Nigerians yearly. By presenting documented evidences of certain Western multinational activities in Nigeria, as well as other countries they've executed these regulatory capture mechanisms, which happens right in front of you without you even knowing it, until it destroys your country. Now pay close attention so you don't get deceived next time. The first you see is to plant the narrative in the mind of the people while concealing any form of commercial lobbying, just like this one from the Vanguard Viewpoint article bylined by Marvelyn Eckert titled Beyond the Smoke, the Case for Tobacco Harm Reduction in Nigeria. It explicitly weaponized data from a PR Innovation Multinational Survey and World Vapers Alliance polling to argue for the benefits of marketing other harmful versions of tobacco to Nigerians instead of clamping down entirely on it. But public investigations have traced the funding networks of both We Are Innovation and World Vapers Alliance back to British American Tobacco and Philip Morris International PMI. To understand just how powerful British American Tobacco or BAT are, you just need to recall when they were fined $110 million in December 2023. It became the largest antitrust penalty in Nigerian history for market manipulation and regulatory evasion, where they systematically used their monopoly power to distort the Nigerian tobacco market through penalizing retailers who provided equal visibility for competing tobacco brands. But most critically, being they introduced certain products into the Nigerian market without going through the mandatory regulatory approvals, they also breached regulations meant to restrict marketing and protect consumers. But it becomes even more difficult to argue against when you remember BAT employees and whistleblowers alleged a systematic network of corporate bribery. Politicians were allegedly paid off to completely rewrite tobacco control bills across Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda and Burundi, while in South Africa, leaked files showed the hired former spies, police officers on informal payrolls, plus state power to disrupt competitor supply chains. To as far as Burkina Faso, Gabon, Togo, Ethiopia, Namibia, and before you say, oh, Africans are their own problems as usual, understand that in 2010, the SEC and the DOJ charged Alliance One International and Universal Corporations for violating the U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practices Act (FCPA) by paying over $5 million in bribes to foreign government officials. In fact, Britain successfully led a harm reduction campaign distributing vapes as a cessation tools, given the UK government accepted vaping could aid smokers and addicts to quit smoking. But the UK government learned the brutal way after cheap, colorful flavored disposable single-use vapes created an unprecedented youth epidemic that forced a U-turn, where the UK government banned the sale and supply of single-use disposable vapes from June 1st, 2025. Now we have a bill in Nigeria that seeks to totally exempt tobacco heating devices themselves from carrying health warnings, removing the previous requirements that smoked tobacco must be sold in intact packages containing at least 20 sticks. It now allows cigars to be sold in packs of only 5, making it potentially more affordable and accessible, while deleting important penalty clauses, effectively creating a toothless law with almost no consequences for violation. The bill also shields manufacturers from public scrutiny and accountability, as they can now designate any product information as trade secrets. Are you not shocked? It then legally obligates, not permits, obligates the Minister of Health to keep these critical disclosures secret, preventing independent public health experts, researchers and civil societies from evaluating the actual chemical safety and hazards of these products, which is a direct violation of the Freedom of Information Act. Oh, but it doesn't end there. The fourth being it gives the Minister of Health sweeping executive authority to exempt non-combustible products from statutory rules under an undefined public interest ground, almost similar to what the FBI is doing with our dear president's drug case, which ultimately means if you can lobby whoever sits in the position of Minister of Health, you become an untouchable god of harmful substances that not even drug law enforcement agencies can touch you. Once more, I ask, do you believe these dangerous laws were created by Nigerians? Would you like a public panel where we question the lawmakers themselves? Let me know in the comment section. And as always, don't trust, verify.